Thank you for joining us on this historic day.
What is up, Budget Billers? My name is Trail, better known as Budget Bill, and this is your fourth stimulus check update and stimulus package update for Friday, April the 30th. Good morning, everyone, and it's the last day of the month, guys. So let's make it count, okay? And it is also the last day of the work week. This has been one of the biggest weeks in regards to stimulus news as well as stimulus checks. We have a plethora of information today we want to talk about on how President Biden introduced $4 trillion worth of stimulus bills that would create jobs. Those jobs would in turn have huge implications for climate change in this world, infrastructure improvements, elder care as well as child care, education, taxes, child poverty, and much more. As Biden took the stage to complete his 100 days in office, he was able to introduce a set of bills with a set of plans to get us from point A to point B. Now, these two packages have a lot included in them. Majority of Americans believe in some of the items that were included that he mentioned, as well as others are in disagreement with President Biden, which is perfectly fine, guys. You can't always have everyone in agreement with one person, especially when it comes to politics, right? These days you have Republicans, you have Democrats, and then you have independents, and then you have progressives who are just really Democrats on steroids. But one thing that we all can agree on is that the majority of Americans actually benefited from the 3 stimulus checks that were provided. And if you were one of those persons, stand up right now and just clap your hands wherever you are, guys. Go ahead, clap them. And that gratitude is not only going to the Biden administration, it is also shared with Trump administration as well. 2 stimulus checks came under former President Donald Trump, so he deserves credit for that and for strong arming and pushing through the red tape with the development of the vaccine, which has really turned this country around. Now, he wasn't as active as pushing the American people to take the vaccine, but he was a significant part in the development stages of it. And then the other applause goes to President Biden, as 1 stimulus check has been provided under his administration, and he deserves huge credit for being the #1 cheerleader for all Americans to be vaccinated. And since the beginning and finishing out his first 100 days in office, he has gotten over 200 million people vaccinated alone. And now we have a total of 237 million people vaccinated in the United States, as well as over 55% of adults have gotten the vaccine. The hospitals are returning back to normal, and the CDC this week announced that people who have been vaccinated can enjoy people again without wearing a mask. Now, regardless to whether you listen to a scientific professional speak about the subject matter, or if you just listen to a person on YouTube, our situation with the pandemic and the virus in this country are getting much better every day. And you can see that by the numbers. Now, I just realized that I forgot to tell you guys to hit the subscribe button for me, as well as hit the like button for me. So if you could just take the time out right now to do both of those just for me, okay? It would really mean a lot. When you guys hit the like button, it is so helpful, as YouTube sees that as some positive news and they are more inclined to share this video with other people. And I try to create good quality videos every single night after working a full-time job and participating in family time, and these videos are totally free to you to watch them. And in return, a simple press of the like button really helps out, guys. And then for the person in the comments section on a few videos back that stated that Budget Bill just does this so he can make thousands of dollars for each of every one of you guys watching his videos, well, darling, according to my pay rate on YouTube, I actually only get about 0.013 cents for each one of your views. So it's not thousands of dollars, guys. It's pennies. But those pennies do add up, so I really appreciate it. Now, what's up with these stimulus checks from President Biden? Well, as expected, he didn't mention anything about them in his presidential speech on Wednesday. Not even a clue of what we can expect the future stimulus checks, which makes people feel like we are probably not going to receive any more stimulus checks in the future. Well, I'm going to slightly disagree with that statement, and here's why. We all know the Democrats want more stimulus to be given to the American people. They have said that time and time again that the $1,400 stimulus checks or the $1,200 stimulus checks is just not enough. They know that there are still millions of struggling families out there that still need one or two more stimulus checks. However, President Biden has to be careful about this subject. They have to step back a little bit and look at it from a 10,000-foot view, if you know what I mean. Do you think that it is wise for the president to be calling for more stimulus checks right now when the IRS is still working on getting the third stimulus checks to the American people? I don't think that's a good idea, guys. This same thing happened when Mr. Trumpy gave out those $1,200 stimulus checks. He didn't start discussing or negotiating another stimulus check while those were still being released to the American people. They specifically stated that they wanted to see how the checks were going to be used and how much benefit those checks would do for the American people, as well as with the economy. Under President Trump, those checks came out around the end of March of 2020, and full negotiation of the second stimulus checks didn't really start until late September to October. Then the checks were released at the end of December. So, my take on why President Biden didn't mention a fourth stimulus check in this speech that he had 2 days ago is simply because they are waiting to see how helpful these third stimulus checks are helping the American people. How many jobs can be claimed by Americans, and then how many companies and small businesses can rebound after large sums of money being poured into the economy as well as into each state and each city. You have to consider these things, guys, before you can make a blind decision to offer more stimulus checks. Hell, we just found out last week that the fifth wave of stimulus checks was released by the IRS, which means that some people were still receiving checks this week and probably next week. And on top of that, the IRS has told us that they are short-staffed and behind on 29 million tax returns for low-income earners. They stated that they have about 29 million tax returns that need manual processing, which is delaying the refund checks to go out to so many people right now. And to have those things manually processed, that means they have to have someone to actually manually review them to make sure that everything is in line and accurate on those tax returns. So that's going to take a long time, guys, which means the IRS is fully backed up right now. And as expected, these are mostly because of so many fraudulent tax returns, including errors as well as fraud detection on these particular tax returns. They just don't have enough manpower to handle the millions of stimulus checks while they try and process millions of tax returns. And I might add that these tax returns are different from any previous year that we have had because they contain so many new changes that were caused by the pandemic. That includes stimulus checks, EITC or Earned Income Tax Credit, and the Child Tax Credit. And then you have those that never received any stimulus checks in the past. People are trying to claim those with the Recovery Rebate Credit form, and the IRS has to complete those as well. So yes, these are some of the reasons that we are not going to see the Biden administration address the concerns around a fourth stimulus check right now, as the third stimulus checks are still being distributed to Americans. I hope that makes sense to you guys. But even though President Biden or his administration doesn't talk about them right now, lawmakers who create these standalone bills are actually discussing it within themselves. They are able to get out there and fight for these benefits and to write bills to legislation that could later be added to the next stimulus package, which is why we now have more than 50 lawmakers that are now urging President Biden to allow for more stimulus aid and to create reoccurring monthly stimulus payments until 1 year after the pandemic is over. Do I think that that will ever happen? No. I don't think that we will see monthly stimulus payments for all Americans who have received stimulus payments in the past. But on the flip side, I can see those on Social Security or our seniors receive some form of reoccurring monthly checks. The problem with all of the people that received the last 3 checks is that some of them still have jobs right now, including myself. And to offer them an additional income on a monthly basis when they are already currently working, just doesn't sound smart, guys. Although our government in the past is not the smartest when it comes to distributing relief aid to the American people. But I don't personally think that we will see reoccurring payment checks anytime soon. But I do expect there to be a fourth stimulus check. I think that we will probably have the president pushing for a fourth stimulus check around the August timeframe, perhaps, which would open the door to another round of stimulus checks near the October timeframe. But of course, that's all depending on how the economy recovers. It depends on how small businesses bounce back again. It depends on how if the stock market has a K-shaped recovery. And it also depends on if you smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, according to what President Biden said. Just kidding, guys. But speaking of the stock market at a K-shaped recovery with the airline stocks and cruise line stocks starting to recover, you want to make sure that you head on over to Webull and sign up for a free account. I have recently partnered with them, and now you can receive 2 free stocks valued at up to $1,850 each. All you have to do is deposit $100 into your account. Now, you don't have to spend the $100, but you do have to at least deposit the money at a minimum in order to get the 2 free stocks. Now, I must go a step further and remind you that if you don't have the $100 right now to deposit, then don't sign up, because you only have like 30 days or so to deposit the money in order to get your 2 free stocks. So many people have already signed up in the past and have never deposited their money, and now they won't ever receive their 2 free stocks when they do deposit their money. So if you have $100 right now that you are willing to lend out for about a month or so, then go ahead and sign up for a Webull account. That way you can get your 2 free stocks. Then if you want to spend that money, I would suggest perhaps you buy some Bitcoin or other altcoins. Both of those are known as cryptocurrencies, in which these coins have been going bananas recently. And as most investors say, they're going to the moon. So that may be an option for some of you guys out there. And if you don't, that's totally fine, guys. No pressure at all. As long as you are my friend on YouTube, then everyone will live a much better life. I promise you. And also, just a quick heads up on regards to this channel. As some of the stimulus news continues to slow down a bit, I will start back releasing some finance videos that talk about building wealth, investing in stocks and crypto, as well as investing in real estate, and some motivational messages that may inspire some of you out there. My motto has always been, as long as I can inspire or help at least one person when I speak to them, then I have done my job and I am satisfied. So maybe I'll have a message for you someday. Maybe it will be for your friend, or maybe it will be for a loved one. As long as I can get you to smile on my videos, provide some form of value, and get you to hit the like button for me for the YouTube algorithm, then my job is done as being Budget Bill. And with that being said, guys, hey, this has been another 4th stimulus check update and Bitcoin update for today. If you enjoyed any of this information or found it to be useful, be sure to hit the like button for me. It definitely helps out a lot, and it also tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so that you can be a part of this community, and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Again, as always, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.